go even further beyond!
Guys, it really makes me sick. It makes me sick that they left Mystic Mine alone. But not as sick as our freaking end boards are gonna be with triple Benten, baby. That's right, Drytron best deck, Drytron, LoganJYA back here. 1 week later after we did 20.0, we are at 21.0. We've ascended even further beyond, my friends. And this particular build, we're going into uncharted waters. That's right, a brand new format. Tier element looking like it's gonna be ripping things to shreds, but not if we rip them up first, all right? And I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that with this particular build, all right? It's a callback, it's a safe bet, it's something to consider trying. Now, mind you guys, if you wanna see me do a video where I go over my opinions on every possible build of Drytron going into this uncharted territory of this new format, let's smash 150 likes and I'll freaking do it. Someone had a great idea in the comments of the last video. I think it's a good thing to consider doing, but if you want to see it, you gotta let me know. Anyway, I'm not gonna preface this too much. A lot of this is based in theory, guys. Remember that, but it could work. And we have 3 Benten to make it work, baby. So without further ado, I don't want to preface this too much. Let's get into it. All right, you character actors, here it is. By popular demand, we've got Drytron 21.0. I feel like just last week I did 20.0. Oh wait, that's because I did. But of course a Banlist has to come out. And of course, as I predicted, Benten came back to 3, baby. So we gotta leverage that card to the best of our abilities. And I tell you what, I'm gonna be super transparent with you guys right now. I don't know what the best build of Drytron is going into this new format. I do not know. The only way we're gonna find out is after the first real event, or after the first locals results are coming out of this of the new format, and then we'll have a good idea. So it's gonna be a week, maybe like a week and change, until I have a build that I feel very confident for the new meta. This build is based almost solely on theory. Now, mind you, I think my theory is pretty strong here, and this is a build that's very similar to the one I topped with in the Philly Regionals not too long ago. So I'm going to explain to you what things will change depending on the flow of the format, but I'm going to tell you why I think this build is a very safe bet. And at the end of the video, I'm going to do a 1-name hand combo tutorial for you guys to show you what you can do if you only have 1 name, because I think in this build, that's a situation that comes up. People get a little flustered, not sure what to do, myself included, when I didn't know how to do this combo. So I'm going to help you guys out who might be in a similar situation. So stick around to the end till that. I got all the disclaimers out of the way, baby. Let's get into the profile. I'm going through the basics quick. You know we're not going to waste any time. Let's get into it. All right, guys, starting things off real quick. 3 alpha, no surprises. 3 zeta, no surprises. 3 gamma, including the hot misprint, baby. And 1 delta. Only 1 delta, it's because we're playing prosperity. Spoiler alert. So the delta does conflict with the prosperity. You're not going to get the full power and effect of it. That's why I choose not to max out on it and only play 1. The deck is 46 cards. It's going to seem like a very few amount of names for the way that we're playing it. You'll see why, all right? And I'll try and explain along the way. But mind you, the build that I got top with in Philly was 45 cards. This is a 1-card difference, and I'll point out some of the key differences as we go through them. But that is it for the ratio here. Definitely a divergence from what I've been usually doing, especially recently. But, again, in logic, it kind of makes sense here. Next, we've got our boy, Vanity's Ruler. I'm not even going to BS with you. This is our strat for this build. We are going Vanity. We are going Vanity's Ruler, and we are going Magic-y Package in the main board. Listen, I tell you what, if we're doing Vanity's Ruler, right, and you're going uninterrupted, say, for example, the format goes in the direction of people choose to play blowout cards like Mystic Mine, Dark Ruler No More, Droplets, Lightning Storm, things of that nature, this route is pretty decent. You might run out of interruptions, but the whole point is you have to back it. If it does go that route, you have to back this guy up with the Magic Key. You have to. So I don't think siding it is good enough. I think that if you open full combo, you should be able to do the full combo that will not lose to Dark Ruler or Droplets or Mystic Mine. So that is the logic behind why we are playing both in this particular build. I know a lot of people enjoy side decking it, and yes, it does give you extra space or cuts back your main deck count, but in this build, I feel very, very, very confident in saying we should be playing both in the main, if this is the strat we're taking. Going along with the ruler, I've got my boy Orange Light. The Orange Light is especially important in this build because when you're going full combo or you're going to be tributing your Vanity's ruler over Bentens, you want to be searching a Fairy and an Orange Light as a backup plan against Dark Ruler droplets. If they have double Dark Ruler, if they have shenanigans, if they're somehow able to break the board, you need to have additional interruption. That's why we play the Orange Light, as well as to circumvent certain hand traps. A lot of people are theorizing that Nib is going to be back. If Nib is back, we need to be able to search Orange Light. I'm just saying. We need to be able to search Orange Light. And I also have to say this. We have to not be afraid to pitch a Ben 10 for an Orange Light. In that situation, if we have to hold a Ben 10 in hand, like we have Alpha, Zeta, Ben 10, and Orange, you're holding that joint. You're holding that joint as long as you need to. You don't care about pitching that Ben 10, all right? If you get too greedy with it, you're going to get punished. So we like to stay ready. Just don't be afraid of it. We have 3 of them now, guys. 3 of them. We can afford to play a little bit more lax with it. One of my biggest fears with this build in particular is that you run out of fairies to search too quickly. Genuinely. That is a genuine concern of mine. So, you know, maybe that's something to reconsider in the future, but just pointing that out right now. And then the one Diviner. The one Diviner is your other normal summon. We're only playing 2 normal summons total. That means you're only normal summoning twice in the entirety of the match. Or, excuse me, of the game, probably. But there are, in theory, other things you can normal summon. I'll talk about that later. But Diviner at 1, that's the same logic that has been going on in this build. Triple Benten. Triple Benten. I tell you what, this does hit a little different. It feels good. Feels flippin' good to have this card at 3. Dude, it has been a minute, but 100% we did it. B to 3. Listen, guys, before I see him in the comments, and you feel free to say it, hashtag EVO to 1, baby, let's go. It's just not going to happen, guys. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen until they do major hits on the Ishizu cards. But, of course, Triple Benten and 1 Natasha. We get to steal a lot. We get to steal a lot without having to play I to 10, which is pretty crazy. In this build, you really don't need I to 10, so, yep. That's it for those Cyber Angels. And again, already spoiled the fact we are playing the Beta Buster Magic Key to search the trap, to play around those big blowout cards like Mystic Mine, like Dark Ruler No More, like Droplets. So that is the logic here. Now, if the format goes in a bit more of a hand trap heavy direction, the cool thing about this build is that you can kind of run through hand traps. It's another cool thing about the additional Benten. It gives you more ability to run through hand traps. So that is a cool thing. But at the same time, it's hard to decide which build is going to be best, because if the format doesn't go hand trap heavy and goes big board breaker, big deal breaker type cards, and people are not main decking hand traps, we should be playing the FTK. But you know what I'm going to do? First, I'll talk about Draconids. Draconids is insane. Scythe is still a card. We can OTK through Scythe. We don't even care about Scythe. Scythe is actually a joke for this deck. All right? We're playing Draconids. Now, I want to say this. Guys, if you want to see this, let's smash 150 likes on this video. I'm going to do a discussion on every build of Drytron and try and decide which one I think might be best for this format, all right? You're going to get my hot take on all the build. And then you guys can decide for yourself, honestly, because right now I'm at a bit of a sticking point. So help us get over 150. I'll make that video. It'll be a fun discussion, and we can really dive deep and look at, you know, maybe some example builds or templates for every build we discuss, all right? How's that sound? Because I've literally played them all. Don't believe me? Go check Drytron 101. I've got a whole playlist dedicated to this damn deck. That's why they call me the Dry Kage. Anyway, Draconid's looking nice and fresh. Let's move on. Now we're getting into the little bit of theory territory here. And I used to do this. You guys will see this in some other older builds. I'm doing it again. I am main decking DD Crow. Okay, listen. Everybody knows Tier Element is going to be the most oppressive deck in the format, hands down. We got to stay ready for it. I think main deck DD Crow might be worth it. Mind you, this is really only hitting one matchup because Sprite doesn't even have Ronin anymore. There's nothing good to banish with it. This is exclusively for Tier, and maybe those other circumstances where you're running into something. Math Mechic's got some application, I guess. You know, there are other matchups where it can come up, but this is really just for Tier. And the cool thing about this and the other tech choice that I'm choosing to play in this particular build is that it either has application, like you can use it as a 6th card, aka on your turn. If you were to draw it, it can be big, important, good to have. Or it has another application, like this being a level 1, which means we can overlay it with any name to make Moy Beta if we're in a situation that we need to do that. We have no diviner access, we had nothing else we'd rather spend our normal summon on, or we are totally cut off from Moy Beta and other names. Normal summon Crow, make it that way. I used to do this all the time back when Evil was a card, or back when we used to main deck Drolls. Like, those were things that you had to do. And that's one of the cool little side applications of the DD Crow. Moving on to the spells. I'm not even going to BS with you guys. We're going to speed run through this. 2 Nova and 2 Fafnir. I'm still trying this ratio out for the sole purpose of the fact that Sprite may still exist, and we're still going to take advantage of Fafnir's field spell effect. It also has application against Exo Sister, okay? It does the same thing that it does against the dang Sprites. You can lock them out of their Exceeds, perhaps. So keep that in mind. Triple Pot of Prosperity. I already talked about the fact that we were going to be playing this card earlier on. In this particular build, it's important to have a card like this. It also lets you reach for side deck cards in games 2 and 3, which is very important. You'll see that in the design of the side deck. But in the main board, of course, we're still maining the triple droplets. Drytron is the best deck to play droplets in. It takes better advantage of it than any other deck in the meta. Don't at me. It's 100% a fact. Also, still playing triple prep. I do fear bricking on too many rituals in this build. We're playing 46. I think it's a very realistic possibility they could brick on too many rituals. That's why the combo we're going to do at the end of this video is going to be with one name hand, all right? But I'm telling you right now, you know, with this particular build, prep, alpha, zeta is what gets you to full combo. Or, you know, alpha, zeta, Benten, things like that. You have to have that 3-card combo to go all the way and have the maximized safe board. So that's why we're trying to get to it as fast as we can. So I'm just putting out there a little disclaimer, but at the same time, a little bit of logic. Triple Emergency, 1 Medionis, 100%. Harpy's Feather Duster, Foolish, and Call By, all in the main. No reason not to play them. You already know. Now, here's where some more beef comes in, alright? Well, of course we've got the Magic Key Unlocking. You guys already know what this does. It stops those big blowout spells and traps. Gotta stay ready on that. Triple Imperm in the main. Hear me out. This is another card that hits Tier Element. It can be an amazing 6-card rip. It can stop things like Dweller. It can stop some shenanigans. It can stop Scythes if they're not backed up with Omnis. This is a good card to consider trying. I'm going to test it. I'm going to test it. I'm going to let you know what I think about it. The other cool thing about this is that it doesn't lose to Eradicator. It doesn't lose to Eradicator. I was thinking about playing Dark Ruler No More in this slot, and then I'm like, I'm going so hard on spells right now. My deck is so full of spells. You know what? Let's try Imperm. I used to do this. I had other builds that did main deck Imperm. It was actually pretty good when I was testing it. It was top and locals, but it was good. So we're going to try it again. I think there's some sound logic behind there, but you let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments down below. That's it for the main. Let's run through the extra. I'm going to speed run this joint, all right? Here we go. 2 beautiful Moy Beta Fafnirs, you already know. 1 Downer Magician and 1 Zeus. I'm not playing Fuko. I'm not playing Lyrlusk. I'm not playing Mystic Mind in the deck. I don't think there's a need for Lyrlusk. Droll, I don't believe, will be in the meta. If it is, then we're putting Fuko back in. But I don't think Droll will be in the meta. So I'm not playing Fuko right now, alright guys? When Drytron is tier 1, which I mean, low-key we all know it's always tier 1, but hey, when Drytron is heavily represented, we gotta be ready and we gotta be playing Fuko so we can do things about that Droll. But right now is not the time, we gotta consolidate the package. And then the 1 Beatrice, which is absolutely mandatory as well for those 1-name hands. We'll see it in the combo that we do at the end. Targets for Herald, Entis, and the other Herald of the Arclight for the search, of course, you already know. And then for our link package, I went heavy on the links in this build. We are taking advantage of Natasha climbing, and our 1-name hand end board is link reliant. A lot of our end boards could be link reliant. I think we want to stay link reliant here, not too much exceed reliant, so that's why we beefed it up a little bit here. I'm still playing the 1 Anima. We are still siding Lava Golem. No surprises there. Punish bad players. 1 Herald of Mirage Light, mandatory. Talk to Justin Singh, you know, if you want to. 1 IP Masquerena, absolutely mandatory as well. 1 Nightmare Phoenix to pop the back rows. 1 Nightmare Unicorn to also tag out into to be an additional link climbing piece. Lot of applications there. 1 Apollosa, again, another one of your big, meaty link 4s. You're going to want to turbo this out if you run into the Flunder matchup. You are going to want to circumvent any other strategy. You are going for Beto Buster plus Apollosa with a Searched Lancia, which is in the side deck, spoiler alert. One Boral Sword, 100% mandatory. I am done with access code in my personal opinion. I'm back on Boral for the foreseeable future. Just putting it out there. And then the one Underworld Goddess to deal with the Towers monsters. If you wanted to change and play either a Lyrilusker or Fuko, this would be your slot to do it. Just saying, this would be your slot. Moving on. Let's get into the side deck. And my side deck's a little weird this time around. I'm just going to warn you guys. 2 Lava Golems. I'm only doing 2, all right, because I'm doing diversity of side deck, all right? And you will see what I mean as I go through it. But we're doing 2 Lava Golems in the side. The 1 Lancia. Again, really just for Flunder or other matchups that it really hits hard. 2 Dark Ruler No Mores. Again, this is so weird. This is so weird for me to do. Ugh, I feel gross just doing it. But again, diversity of choice. That is what we're going for here. We're going for a bunch of wide variety of options. 2 Cosmics. This is not my only spell and trap removal. We have the Harpies in the main, and we also have the triple evenly. I think back row could be big right now. Drytron has an inherently good matchup against most back row decks, but why not bring in a win button, you know what I mean? At worst, you're getting 4k life points out of your opponent. At best, you're banishing everything they have except for 1 card, and this deck tears through 1 card like it's paper, so we stay ready on that. And then the last thing I'm doing is the full Ultimate Slayer package. Ultimate Slayer plus the Evil Twin package. I love this card. Will it be a little less applicable now with Sprite not running around at full power? Maybe. But I still want to keep testing with it. I still want to keep playing it. I love Ultimate Slayer. I think it's worth it. And in going into this new format, I would be giving it a try. All right? Hopefully that makes sense. That is everything for the side deck, guys, but don't go anywhere. I'm going to show you how to do a 1-name hand combo. Before I do that, quick shameless plug, come play in the GG for free. You can check out the Twitch stream, link down below, and all that other good stuff. Anyway, before I do that, in case you're wondering what the regular full combo looks like, I actually have it featured in multiple videos on my channel. So go to the Drytron 101 playlist. You can look at Drytron Combos Volume 1, or I will also put direct links to the videos that actually have the full combos for this particular build in it, okay? But this time around, I want to show you 1-name hand, what we end on, and how to play it out with that particular thing. So without further ado, let's get into that. Alright homies, as promised, I got a combo tutorial for you that's going to be a 1-name hand with Benten access. We're using Zeta to make it easy as possible. Now you already know Zeta could be replaced with Nova, with Fafnir, with Emergency. All of that technically works as well, making it clear as day. And same thing with Benten. If you have prep, just pretend that it's Benten, alright? Same deal. The logic we're using here is 1-name hand equaling a good combo board. Now I'm going to tell you, with a 1-name hand, you can almost never Vanity's Ruler your opponent. I just have to flag that for you. It seldom ever is possible if you have a 1-name hand. The only way I can really think about it happening is if you open up Draconids or Beta Buster and able to use it to summon back Benten from grave and then hard tribute summon for the Vanity's Ruler. That's the only way I really ever see that happening. But this is what you do in this circumstance. And again, in this build with 46 cards where I think there is a high possibility of there being 1-name hands, I think you're going to want to know this combo. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright guys, for the 1-name combo, we're going to start off with Zeta pitching off Benten. And you already know this is going to grab you Meteonis. Benten effect is going to search you Diviner. This is how you set yourself up for success in this particular situation. Normal summon that Diviner, use its effect, send Herald of the Arclight. Herald of the Arclight's effect will then search for you, grabbing out another copy of Benten. Real simple stuff here. Next step, activate that Meteonis, using it, pitching that Zeta, summon back that Benten. Easy stuff, this looks familiar, we've done it before. Overlay these 2 guys like so, summon that Beatrice. Beatrice effect, detaching Benten, sending Gamma from deck to grave, like so. Then we'll use the effect of Gamma, pitching that Benten in hand to summon back itself and a Zeta. Then we'll use Benten's effect in the graveyard. In this situation, we're going to search another copy of Benten. Look at that, bro. We are literally running through all 3 Bentens right now, but it makes sense why, because we're going to keep generating advantage off of them. We're going to overlay these 2 for Moy Beta, like so, and they'll use Moy Beta's effect to Foolish Burial Alpha. Then we can use Alpha's effect in the graveyard, pitching off that Benten to special summon itself back, just like that. Then I'll use Benten's effect. Well, first Alpha, we'll grab Beta Buster. Benten, grab Natasha for follow-up. We're grabbing a ritual name in case somehow our entire board gets wiped. We can still leverage the graveyard to go even further beyond. Now you can do this earlier if you'd like to, using the cards you summon back off Gamma, or you can use Alpha here, reduce to add back Meteonis. Then you're going to activate that Meteonis, detach off that Moy Beta, and summon out the Beto Buster like so. And then use Beto Buster's effect to search out your counter trap. Boom, set up for success, that's all I'm saying. We're going to take the Alpha and the Beatrice and link those two off into IP Masquerena on the top. There's a reason why we're going for IP here, okay? And there's a reason why we're playing Unicorn and Apollosa. So when we pass turn on a one-name hand board, this is what it'd be looking like. Let's do an inventory here, okay? We've got 2 spell and trap interruptions in the form of the Moy Beta negate and the Magic Key unlocking. Here's the issue. We can't really make full advantage of this IP until we use at least one or both of these spell or trap negates. So if you need to sacrifice one to, say, make a quick unicorn, that's okay, you can do that. But if you are able to spend both of these, then you can tag out your IP into an Apollosa. You want to stay ready with your options, and that's why we went heavy on the links in this build. Unicorn is an option. Apo is an option. You know what else is an option? Underworld Goddess is an option. You know what else is an option? Say you're playing against a back row deck. You probably want to leave these online, but say you spend all your interrupts. Boral Sword is an option. You can tag these out for a free Boral Sword that's indestructible, cannot be destroyed by battle by its own effect, cannot be destroyed by card effects because IP. These are all things to stay aware of. So I'm telling you, even with a one-name hand, this combo is still pretty devious. Now, there's a lot of other Drytron builds out there that we can play, and we are going into uncharted waters with this new format. There's still so much to be afraid of, so much to stay ready for, but playing Drytron, you should have no fear. You should go in there, you should triumph, you should win. And that's what I'm here to tell you to do, alright? Drykage, LoganJYA, stay on those vibes, hit that sub, like, comment below, dislike if you dislike, and that's all I got today. LoganJYA, signing off, have a great day. I will see you chumps later. Peace.